Hey everybody, welcome to the Late Night with Big Nasty, where I go over future, past, and present things going on within Pokemon. Tonight I'm going to be reaching out about what's going on in the market today. And should you chase after the newest product? Should you go after recent products? Or should you just hit singles? First off, let's hit this new stuff. Black Bolt, White Flare. If people are offering you 80, 90, $100 of ETB, $80 I would say yeah, that's okay, because let's be real, MSRP is 65 after tax. If you're doing trades, try to be reasonable with what you're trading. If you have more older stuff, whether it's older Scarlet and Violet, Sword and Shield, X and Y, Sun and Moon, any of those stuff, just remember that modern stuff, Black Bolt, White Flare, Destined Rivals, Journey Together, Prismatic, all of these sets that came out this year are fairly new, really new, and they'll begin to be printed for the next 2 years. Whereas the stuff that you're trading off to get that new stuff is no longer in print. So when it comes to the modern stuff and what's out right now, the hype of it all, it's just hype. There's scalpers trying to hype. There's streamers trying to hype. There's people who are trying to make more money off product that they got at MSRP, if not at a lower price, if they have deals with distributors and vendors. So my thing is this. Let's say, okay, for instance, I posted this a while ago in a short. Let's go Silver Tempest booster box, roughly about $375 a booster box. Now if I were to go and put one up on the market for that price, asking, right, someone offers me, I'll give you some, Black Bolt, White Flare ETBs, and they're gonna hit me with like, here, can I give you like 2 of them and then pay the rest cash? Yeah, sure, that's fine. That's 130, so I'll take those 2 plus 270, or or no, 130. I'll take another 220, 240, 250, and on top of that, and that equates to what, 375, 370, 380. If people are saying no, these boxes are worth $80, they're not. Anything released this year is still printing and will be continued to be printed and reprinted for the next 2 years. But that Silver Tempest is no longer in print. So what that booster box is valued at, that 360, 375, 385, whatever they said it was, 365, 375, it's going to stay that. If not, it's going to go up because they're no longer in print. Now the stuff that, those ETBs, Black Bolt, White Flare, there's going to be so many of them. They're going to keep printing them. They're going to keep releasing them at GameStop. They're going to keep dropping them at Walmart. And they're going to be dropped at Target, in person, online. Just like Prismatic is still on the shelves. Just like Prismatic is still at GameStop drops. And Walmart drops. And tins and all that stuff. So my recommendation for modern stuff, like I said, is make sure you're getting fair market value. Make sure you're getting MSRP, not third party market value. Third party market value is that $80, $90, $100 price tag. If it comes to Pokemon Center ETBs, it's a little bit different because of the state of the market with Pokemon Center and only allowing 1 unit per person. Oh, sorry about that. It's late night. Those hold more value because only one person at a time is getting 1 per person. So the Pokemon Center ETBs are definitely different. Anything regular, anything out there right now, they could say first print. That's cool. Yeah, it's first print because it came out this month. It literally came out 2 weeks ago. So, that's modern. Now I'll trade for the past stuff. What to go for past. People are hyping up on the new stuff, and people are hitting you with the FOMO, the fear of missing out on the old stuff, the Sword and Shield, the Hidden Fates, the Tag Team. These cards aren't going away. There's a ton of them out there. My recommendation is always look for raw cards and then just do the work yourself to go get them graded. I have another video where I go over grading services, quality of slabs, and what you need to do for that. My preferences and ranks on that. But singles, chase after the single cards that you like. Chase after the Pokemon that you want in those singles. In sealed product, anything sealed that's older, that's great, but what holds and carries the most value is booster boxes in ETBs. Booster boxes and ETBs. I'd say the build and battle boxes are I believe that's more of a Sword and Shield thing. And it came out during Sword and Shield, and the build and battles are cool, and the reason why they're really cool is because they have stamped cards in them. So you get, I think, 4 to 6 packs, and you get 2 stamped cards. Those stamped cards, or 1 or 2 stamped cards, but either way, stamped cards are always awesome. They're one of a kind in those boxes only. And cool collector's pieces. I have a Black Star promo binder that has stamped cards as well. People like me would for sure snag those up when you can. I think those are cool because those are during only that era only. So definitely get those if you can. Sword and Shield stuff. People are starting to try to hype up Shining Face. People are trying to hype up Champion's Path, and hype up all of these like settling sets like that just kind of flatlined and kind of stayed flatlined over eras, multiple eras. Sword and Shield, now Scarlet and Violet, Champion's Path ETB. It's like $120 on the market right now. I've bought them at $100. Sorry, that was my foot. I bought them at $100 2 years ago. I mean, that incline of like $20 in 2 years, that's a $10 bump every year. It's not bad, but it's very slow, and I think Champion's Paths and Shining Fates, I think Champion's Path is underrated. The reason why I say Champion's Path is underrated is because you got the Rainbow VMAX Charizard in there, and you have the Charizard V Radiant, the Radiant Charizard. So you got 2 really good cards performing very well, easily in the hundreds, raw, and even higher in the PSA 10s, in Gem 10s. So I think Champion's Path is a very underrated set, and the reason why it was so underrated and why people didn't like it back in the day was because its hit rate was caca. Its hit rate was bad, and predominantly most of the cards in that set are bad. Another cool card from that set is the Black Star promo Gengar. I have one, had it in my binder for sale, and I just recently looked up the price and was like, there's no way this card's ranging from $45 to $65, and it is. It's crazy. That hollow Black Star promo Gengar is going through the roof. So I'd say if you were to go and get some stuff back from the past, I'd say Champion's Path. Champion's Path is an underrated set that people are hyping up. But Shining Fates also has a Charizard VMAX variant. Same artwork as Champion's Path, Shining Fates, and Darkness Ablaze all have that Charizard VMAX. One's regular and one's shining, and one's in rainbow. Jeremy's Path has the higher, more expensive of the three. Like, since the rainbow card is worth more than those two other ones, and I think that I'd say Jeremy's Path is a good one to buy. I think the things I would say go after is Silver Tempest. I think Silver Tempest is going to be crazy down the road. I think it is comparable to Lost Origin. I think those are one tier below Fusion Strike and Evolving Skies. I think Fusion Strike is one to jump on while it's still under $1,000. If you can get a booster box, hold on to it. It will appreciate. Fusion Strike, because it has the Gengar VMAX Alt Art, the Glaceon, the Espeon, Sleeping Espeon VMAX Alt Art, and it has the Mew V. In a PSA 10, that's $200 something. In the PSA 10, that Espeon's like, I'd say $350 to $400, and the Gengar is roughly about $1,000. So I'd say, well, $1,000 to $1,200. So I'd say like the Fusion Strike has definitely made its claim up there with the Evolving Skies. Obviously, Evolving Skies is a $2,000 booster box. So to say that it's the same, no, because you got the Moonbreon and the Rayquaza, and you got the Glaceon, and there's more hits in there, way over $500 plus once they're PSA 10. But I still think that Fusion Strike is going to make its leaps and bounds in the same direction. It's gonna break 1,000 in the following year. I'd say year to 2 years. I'd say Lost Origin and Silver Tempest are right there neck and neck. Silver Tempest is a lot more obtainable because it's still in the 300s. It's still right there. It's still right there within $100 of, or just a little over $100 more than a Surging Sparks booster box, a Destin Rivals booster box, a Journey Together booster box, $200, within $200 of that. Like less than $200 to those ones. Those are modern sets. Those are going to be around for a while. You're going to be able to obtain and find those booster boxes in rotation and out in the wild. You're not going to get those with Silver Tempest. You're not going to get those with Lost Origins. Lost Origins is roughly about $450. And Silver Tempest is about, like I said, $365, $375. It might be even higher now, last I saw. But the reason why I say Silver Tempest is the one to go for is because, one, it is very cheap. It is very low for what it's worth. That booster box being under $400 and it having the Lugia V Alt Art, which in a PSA 10 is twice as much. I'd say it's a phenomenal deal. When a card that you can get, and if you can obtain it in a PSA 10, and it is possible, it is very possible to get a PSA 10, you double your money. I mean, the booster boxes are just sealed in general are good. They're awesome to get, to have, to hold. I think that's a very easily attainable one. Even if you're really balling on a budget, you could just wait a couple months and then snag a booster box. It's very obtainable by everybody. That booster box has that Lugia V Alt Art. Now that Lugia V Alt Art, although it has the Regidrago V Alt Art, which doesn't do well, the Unknown, and a few other cards that kind of tank. Overall, that Lugia, personally, my thought on my perspective and as to why I say that is this card kind of has that reach into that Shining Gyarados, where you look at that the Neo era Shining Gyarados, where it's like towering over the Fisherman. What is Lugia doing? It's popping out of a wave over this Fisherman, just like, oh shit, you know. I think that artwork is going to carry it through the years, and it's going to have an impact down the road. So if you were to buy that booster box now for $360, $370, $380, $380, I could see you for sure making money down the road on that one set, because that Lugia is a beautiful piece of art. I've had that card as someone who buys, sells, and collects. It's come and gone in out of my possession, but I do have a couple of booster boxes, which I'm happy about, and I highly recommend Silver Tempest as one. Another set I'd say, besides Silver Tempest and Champion's Path out of the past, I'd say is Battle Styles. And I did the math on it. Battle Styles is super, super cheap. It's like $200. It's like buying a Journey Together's booster box right now. It's cheaper than Destined Rivals. The reason why I say this is because it has the Sleeping Tyranitar V alt art. Now that full art is highly sought after. And I did the math. The math is that card is worth more than the booster box itself. I honestly think you can get that booster box to, like, if you can convince someone to sell it to you for like $190, it's right now, here at the end of July, it is still reasonable to ask for that type of price, $190. Some people got them for like $100. They're very cheap, and at one point they were not moving. You could still see them on Pokemon Center. I remember when they were sitting there on Pokemon Center. No one wanted them when Paldea Evolved got out. They were just sitting there, booster boxes. Even when Temporal Forces and Paradox Rift, when those came out, I could still buy Battle Styles. I could still buy, at that time, Fusion Strike sleeved packs for $4 a pack. It was crazy. So, yeah, Battle Styles. I'm only looking in the past as like to something that I could see gaining value and having some hits, bangers. The Battle Styles also has the Shifu the alt art. I was gonna say SIR, the alt art, which is a beautiful card. That textured beast is amazing. The VMAX, not worth as much, but still a cool card to hit. It's still worth something. But again, the big one is the T-Tar. That Tyranitar is sleeping with food and the Tepig in the back, just like, oh snap. I don't think it's Tepig. I think it's just evolve after that. But anyways, that T-Tar, it's worth more than the booster box. So you buying the booster box and having that possibility in that sealed booster box of having that Tyranitar is already an appreciated value. You're buying something worth more than what you purchased it at. So that's a win. That's an automatic win. You could have that booster box and you could resell and say, hey, it could have that T-Tar in there. You never know, and sell it at that price. So that there's a lot of flexibility in that, but at the same time, TCG Player has it lower than the card itself. So yeah, that's a win. An automatic win is Battle Styles. That booster box, Champion's Path as the special set, and Silver Tempest. Those are my three. I'd say buy if you can afford them, if you can find them. I'm only looking at what's affordable. If I were to say, oh, I did say it, Fusion Strike, if you can obtain one of those boxes before it hits $1,000, you will see gains in that box sitting on your desk. It'll appreciate because of what it is potentially capable of. Just like I said, that same concept that you'd use on Fusion Strike as to why that sealed box is worth $800 is because you have the chance at the Gengar V alt art. So the VMAX alt art. So just use that, apply it to Silver Tempest, apply it to Battle Styles, and voila. You have the T-Tar in one, you have the Lugia in the other, and just having them sealed in those booster boxes means you have the potential to have those cards in your possession. So those are the two booster boxes from Sword and Shield. I'd say go for Silver Tempest, Battle Styles, and if you're a big baller, Fusion Strike. That's the third one. And then the special set would be Champion's Path. That's for Sword and Shield era. I could go on for days as to what sets to go for if you want to go for X and Y. The cards that I've seen increase recently in value are from Breakpoint. Breakpoint is a special set, and Breakpoint, I think, only has like not even 100 cards in it. X and Y era, and that has the cool Gyarados full art with a gold trim and has Greninja in it. Has Mega Evolutions are in that card, that this set. The Mega Gyarados that everyone wants, that one's in there. Good set. I got these for a steal of a deal. Always check your marketplace, your local area. People are always selling. That's what I do. I try to find stuff for deals, try to talk to them, see if I can make trades. But overall, the modern market, don't trade what you have. Don't trade your personal collection. Don't trade things you have because you just want to open the new stuff. Just please hold out. The new stuff's going to be there for a while. With your stuff that's Sword and Shield, definitely don't trade that stuff for Scarlet and Violet anything. When it comes to your Sword and Shield stuff, if you were to look at stuff that's out there, there's still quite a bit to be attained. Silver Tempest, Champion's Path, Battle Styles, and Fusion Strike for the big ballers. Again, try to get that Fusion Strike. I see them all over the place, and I always forget to go and buy one. Every time I did a show, Father's Day weekend, and it was my first card show ever, and I saw someone with like 4 of them. I was like, yo, I need to do a deal with you. And he's like, yeah, just come see me at my table. And I was so busy that day that I completely forgot. Bought a lot of other cool things. But yeah, no, definitely get a Fusion Strike one if you can. My last piece of advice was, we talked about the new stuff. We talked about the old stuff, is single cards. This is where it gets a little on the interesting side. Go for the cards you want raw instead of a PSA 10. I get it. Everyone wants a PSA 10. My recommendation is get a binder and buy the cards you genuinely love and you want for yourself as your own, as a collector, and put them in that binder. If you really do appreciate them, it doesn't really matter what grade you get. Obviously, look for good condition ones with the chance of you sending them in to get graded. I bought cards online from eBay, sent them in myself, bought them for $25, $35, $40, sent them in and got PSA 10s. I got Tag 10s. I got Beckett 10s. And I got them for a fraction of the price. Obviously, you're not always going to get 10s. You're not even always going to get 9s. But if you want them graded, my recommendation is any single card you buy them raw, get them graded, and have that appreciation go in your favor rather than it going into someone else's favor. It's about $25, $15, $25 to send a card off. If you buy, let's say, you buy this Blastoise raw. Let's say you get it for $50, $60. You send it in $15, $25. But you get $75. You get it graded. Oh, wow, it comes back at 10. And now it's worth like $250. Whatever. You didn't pay $250. You only paid $75 to $85 total. It appreciated that much because you got it graded. But my recommendation is to buy cards raw, singles raw. Don't go buying slabs. Slabs are cool and all. They're a cool collector's piece. And honestly, yeah, if you can afford to buy them, but again, remember, a lot of these people are selling slabs at market price. So you're not really buying something that in that moment is going to appreciate. And if you're trying to flip, the best thing to do to grow your own business is to buy raw cards, front that money to get them graded. It's still cheaper than buying them already graded from somebody else, and then selling those cards. the tough part is hoping that you can get 10s, because people ultimately, they like 10s unless it's a Pokemon that they like. I personally, yeah, I'm a big Charizard Houndoom guy, so I have anything from like 1, 6, 2, 5s, and 10s. I don't care, but at the same time, yeah, sometimes raw, buying cards raw is where it's at. And the singles to go for right now, Groudon cards, Rayquaza cards, Kyogre cards, Gengar cards, Greninja. Those are the 5 I would say go for. And Charizard, 6. You got Charizard's Japanese Inferno X coming out this fall. You have Rayquaza coming out in December, January timeframe. Rayquaza is going to have a set. I'm calling it now. The Emerald patent that they have that's going to release, it's either going to be a Dragon's era or it's going to be Rayquaza. Because you got Charizard Inferno X and Rayquaza coming out in December. That sounds like a lot of Dragon S, oomph in there. But either way, Charizard's, Rayquaza's. And then you have 30th anniversary coming up in February. So I'd say they have a third eye set coming out, and I think it's either gonna feature Gengar or Alakazam. You got to remember, what's it? Not Hidden Fates, but one of the Fates Collide. Fates Collide was the Alakazam, the Mega Alakazam. So you got to remember, the third eye could be Gengar. Mega Gengar has the third eye, and then you have Mega Alakazam. So I could see, especially with like the Megas, you know how Gardevoir's promo card wasn't Gardevoir, whereas Lucario's ETB was Riolu. Gardevoir's wasn't Ralts, it was Alakazam. So I feel like they're going to start leveraging into that way with either Alakazam or Gengar. I think Gengar is a huge one for third eye, just because of the way it looks. And then you got Greninja. They already said that you're gonna do Mega Greninja, and they patent a Ninja Star, Spinning Star, or Ninja title. So I'm pretty sure it's Greninja, because Mega Greninja is coming out. So anyways, that's my rant for the night. Those are the singles: Charizard, Greninja, Gyarados. Did I say Gyarados? No. Groudon, Kyogre, Rayquaza, Charizard, Greninja, and Gengar. And why not get Gyarados too? But Gengar. Those are my 6. Talk to you guys about the past stuff. Talk to you guys about the present. Don't fall for the FOMO. Don't fall for the FOMO. Hold your stuff. Anything Sword and Shield and older is no longer print. Chill out. It'll be there. The newer stuff, chill out. Older stuff, hold. And I told you what to buy. Silver Tempest, Battle Styles, Champion's Path, Fusion Strike. And then I told you about my Raws. Anyways, enough of my rant. We're going to be opening up an XY Breakpoint sleeved pack. Here we go. So obviously you can get the break card of Greninja. You can get the Mega Scissor card, and you can get the Mega Gyarados card in here. I've ripped a few of these already. We're about to see what's in here. I'm not gonna show the QR card, the QR code card the other way. But it's 3 from the back. That's what I heard. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Trainer. That's weird. Nuzleaf. Esper. By the way, Esper is a very expensive common card in Radiant Collection, just so you know. $30 card. Psyduck. Seedot. Furfuro. X and Y is awesome. Slowpoke. This should be the reverse holo. The sword Pokemon. And Mega Scissor EX. Hell yeah. Mega card. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please shoot a subscribe. Please shoot a follow. Go check me out on Instagram and TikTok. And send a put a little comment. Tell me how I'm doing, what you want to see, whatever sets you want me to cover, what you want me to cover. And again, I'm sorry to say to all the other streamers and all the other people, but don't fall for the FOMO. Don't fall for the nonsense, the trolling. Just collect what you want. Have fun. And don't just fall for the new stuff. It's going to be here for a while. Big Nasty out.